So I'm going to very briefly, I hope very briefly, share my screen, and then we'll hit the homework challenges right on.
If I can, Fred, I tried after I did that with the current PDF files like 2024 or 5, whatever they were. I went back and I tried it again later this afternoon um, with older files, older PDFs I have that had math or whatever, something I could see if the addition worked out or the crown angles and stuff like that. And some of the older files, yeah, I'm going to have a big problem with. They didn't put them in the different columns, and there's like one line with everything with 25 angles in it that would be a real hassle to parse. So I just want to let you know that.
Yeah, well, we talked about using a flash fill. We even talked about using um, autopilot, all of which work when necessary. So my key word here is that sometimes you have to do things one way, and sometimes you have to do things another way. So the idea is to try to do it as simplest as possible. And if it works, you're done. If it doesn't work, then you have to resort to some of the other tools. So we have been trying to get data from the web, and many times you simply have to download a CSV in an Excel file. There's really never a problem with that, or is there? Anybody have a comment on that? I get my end of year file for my credit card in a Excel file, and I then have to work a lot of filtering and a lot of subtotaling from that point on. But to get the file is never a problem because it's already listed there, and just tap on the download button and you're done. You get the file, and then you have to work on it from there. Anybody want to add a comment to that?
Well, I save on my computer. I save the statements from my credit cards and my bank and everything like that. And they are indexable by Windows, so I can search for anything from the very top of the computer, you know, top of the file system. So I don't have that problem. Like the thing that you gave as a problem looked like it was something from a credit card statement.
Correct. I had the last time I did it, John, I had some nice data. And one of the examples was nice data. Everything lined up in columns, guaranteed, because there were only 3 columns. And then the other set of data did not line up in columns because there were a lot of spaces within the description. And we'll take a look at that and examine that, because that was the one that does not compute nicely in my standalone Excel. And this afternoon, Mike said he had no problem with that, either one. So that's kind of interesting that one function of Excel 365 works one way, standalone works another way, and perhaps if we were using LibreOffice or Google Sheets, it may even work similarly to being a mess or being neat. I don't know, but it depends on the source, it depends on the tool you're using, and it depends on the result that you're trying to get.
So I rarely, if I were still working or doing, something like that, where I got huge sets of data on pages and PDFs, then I might be concerned. But I almost never get anything that's too big for me to work with. It's usually less than a page.
Yeah,
so I'm not too concerned. But I learned something today, and if you take a look at my post, or I could share it.
I'm going to get to it, John. I'm going to get to it.
Are you using the Microsoft 365 version of
No.
Excel for
No, I'm
this?
not. No, I'm not.
Well,
John, let me just quickly go through this, and then we're gonna get to that. So
okay,
we can all do show and tell.
yeah,
I just wanted to quickly go through, just things that I had to go through in my own mind. So what I'm saying here is sometimes just a simple download works, and sometimes we have to consider what a PDF is. So
that was very helpful today. I learned a lot from your post about the different kinds of PDFs.
yeah, we tend to forget that not all PDFs are created equal. Most of the financial data, though, that you get from a brokerage company, a bank, credit card, if you decide to get a PDF, why you would want a PDF, I'm not sure. But if you do get a PDF, it had to originate from something like Excel. It had to. So Excel PDFs are generated directly from the original spreadsheet. The text and the numbers and graphics are preserved, are scalable, vector-based, means the PDF remains crisp and legible regardless of zoom level. And the important thing about the searchability, it remains searchable. And not only that, when you pull something like that into a PDF into Excel, we should have no problem adding up the numbers. If they're in a column, should have no problem. We don't have to do any conversion. We don't have to do any OCRing because it's already editable as a PDF. And likewise, since it came from Excel, it's editable back as a Excel spreadsheet. Screenshots are a whole different matter. From CoPilot, I knew there were more than one kind of PDF. We encountered PDF A and PDF X in terms of my wife's little publishing business. But even if you get a PDF, in my experience with my programs that get the PDF, it says the content is disabled, and you click on a button, and all of a sudden the content is enabled. So there's no big mystery about the all these different things, these different kinds of PDF as far as I'm concerned. Although they may be mysteries, there's no problem. I've had no problem editing any of them. The Excel that I generated came in as what did I say it came in as? Some kind, I think it came in as a PDF A. No, either PDF A or PDF X. No, it's one or the other, but whatever came in as into my PDF reader, it had a button at the top that it allowed me to enable the content. So even though there are all these different types, pretty much invisible to our needs at this juncture. Okay, comment, John. You said you found some useful information here or elsewhere in knowing the different kinds of PDFs or what?
no, that was an education for me. I was unaware of that. The thing that I have investigated is that PDFs can contain malicious code, which when you open them will execute on your system. So they are, in fact, dangerous if they come in an email.
Yeah, I haven't encountered anything like that, but I keep reading that. I have not encountered any. I haven't encountered any warnings like that. Because usually what it shows in my PDF reader, it actually shows the file and just a button at the top that says, to enable content editing. This is just my experience since the last workshop that I demonstrated how to open a PDF into Excel using Power Query. And my feeling after the workshop was that sometimes it's overkill to use a program as powerful as, or an app that's part of Excel, a Power Query. It's too powerful and unnecessary when something more simpler can be done, such as a simple copy and paste. Or if you have to resort to CoPilot, so be it. But I also feel that if you do get messy data, you do have to resort to Excel's text to columns and or flash fill. Anybody need any review of text to columns or flash fill?
No, I use it all the time.
Yeah, I find it indispensable, text to columns, indispensable. And I think I actually had to use a combination of text to columns with a fixed length and with a delimiter, which was unusual. Either you usually do either or, but because of the nature of the data at one time, I had to do text to columns for both the fixed length and also for the delimiter.
I've used both plenty of times.
And I've also had unusual delimiters, like if you use CoPilot. CoPilot is text-based, so it gives you a separator, which I think is called a pipe, the vertical line with a break in it.
Yeah, that's the pipe. Yep.
Pipe
Yep.
symbol.
Wow,
Yeah.
I haven't heard that term in a long time.
Wait a second. Wait. You're a swimmer. You're not a surfer. That's right.
No, I no, it's I know that the vertical vertical line is the pipe, but man, we're back to ASCII terms.
ASCII will never leave us.
I know, I love it.
Yeah, but Linux people use that term all the time because that's how you link.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just common language in
I
Linux.
I know.
Yeah, I just haven't got it. I tried to get into Linux, but I just didn't. So
When it comes to the need to, if we do need to parse besides using flash fill, some of us have used ASAP utilities, right?
pretty much every day for me.
Okay. Keep it going. Keep it going.
I mean, it's incredible, utility.
Now, I used it a while back to transpose a set of rows. The data came in vertically instead of horizontally. That was my wife's piano roster,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to take a set every 10 or whatever and change that into a single row for every 10. And there was a function in ASAP utilities called transpose.
Right.
And you tell you're going to take every 10 rows and
Oh, I've used that constantly in the past.
okay. Then I demonstrated, I think last time, wrap rows, but I had to do it in Google
Okay.
Sheets because it wasn't in my standalone. But you said it was in Excel 365. Is that correct, Mike?
It is. I don't use it very often, so I don't know much about it, or I haven't used it at all, maybe.
Okay, just wanted to,
Yeah.
just again, I reviewed these concepts in my own mind. I find I am so reliable, so dependent on flash fill though.
Flash fill is incredible.
I just find it absolutely incredible. And in
I
general,
don't need it that often, because I'm not parsing, the names came through in a list of names, and now I want to put them last name first, first name last, kind of thing. I have used it for that kind of stuff, but I don't need it that often. I know about it and I have used it.
Well, with the credit card data, the second example, the PDF, I had to resort to that, and I'll show you why. So,
Okay. I
okay.
don't put my credit card, I don't download that stuff.
Oh,
Now,
this is
I just
not
look at the
readable.
bill and make sure that there's nothing there that shouldn't be there.
this is not readable.
No,
That's
that blue on a gray background
Yeah,
is
it's
not readable.
pretty bad. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
But we're gonna jump to the homework anyhow.
If you highlight, if those are links and
They
you
are links,
select them,
Yeah,
then they'll probably be white and I'll be able to see them.
Yeah, they're the homework. They're the homework. Let me see.
Oh, that's the
I
two
just want,
PDFs.
yeah, I'm gonna come back to that because
Okay.
we had a homework challenge and that guy on the left gets the apple because he goes to the head of the class for being the first to report successful transfer of both homework PDFs to Excel 365 from FoxIt Reader. And you gotta show us that, right, Mike?
I can, yeah.
Okay, yep, you're gonna show us, and Mike, you're gonna show us your solution.
Okay, wait.
Okay. Your
Which computer am I on?
this is supposed to be your mileage may vary. So what are your methods? And that is all I want to show.
Okay, so can you see this? I got here and I went like this.
Yeah.
You see, and then I just hit Control C. Then I went to my Excel.
Well, so now
And then I made these columns wide because sometimes I don't want it to wrap. I just make them wide and I can always make them smaller later.
yeah.
Okay, so now I just do Control V. And it came out perfectly. And then I can just do this. Are you seeing this?
Yes.
We're seeing it, but it's small, so I'm going to change my zoom ratio.
Well, I can make this bigger too, maybe. I don't know. Does that help? If I zoom this?
You zoomed it? Yeah.
No, if I zoom it like that, does that help?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So that just came out perfect by you just
Okay.
selecting
All right.
it and
I
just
go
paste.
here and I do alt equals and it gives me the right number. And that's all I did was just highlight it, copy, and I
Right.
can do add and subtract with the dates too.
Right.
The dates
Mhm.
work fine. Like I took, this minus that, it was 1. I checked them all. So I had no problem. I didn't have to parse anything,
Right.
text to columns, which
Right.
is fine. But earlier, before the meeting started, I said, let me try some old PDFs I have, from 18, 17, 19, whatever. And I got one that didn't work like that at all. And I didn't read all those messages about the different kinds of PDFs today. I'm sorry, just didn't have time. But so this worked fine, and the other one worked fine with just the longer names you called that one, whatever.
And this one you simply copied and pasted.
Yeah, that's it.
And this is Excel 365, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Now you're in Excel 365. If you go back, if you close this sheet, like delete this workbook.
Yeah, sure, I can do that. Don't say.
Now you're in
I'm
here.
back to the PDF. This is the PDF, I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So now if you copy this.
Well, you saw how I highlighted it.
Yeah. Well,
Okay,
you
so
didn't
now it's not
highlight.
highlighted.
You didn't highlight the column headings, did you?
I tried to, but I don't think they did. See, well, maybe they will.
Yeah, it did.
And let me go
You
back.
should have been able to highlight the 605 also.
Well, I did not last one. All right, hold on. Shift. Oops. You gotta wait till you get that little I. Yeah, okay. Control C.
Huh. That's weird that you didn't get that.
Well, that was probably my mouse mistake.
Now, if you open a new spreadsheet,
Yeah, okay.
open Excel, get a new spreadsheet.
I can go to an old Excel too.
No, because you're doing something which is the way I did it. Now,
Okay.
if you go up,
what I normally do before when I copy stuff from the internet or whatever, I just make these columns wider.
right,
So
but
I don't get all
try clicking on the down arrow in the upper left in the ribbon under paste.
Why would I bother with that? I'll just
Try it.
Here,
Yeah.
paste special, paste what?
Ah.
I just hit Control V.
Yeah, that works. But you see, in mine, and
I could do it with here, and it still did it. And I didn't need to make this column that wide. And I do have the headings, but I'd rather go back later here and do this with the the columns rather than have to go and the rows are all messed up and you know what I mean when they wrap when you don't want them to wrap.
No, that's a good point. Widen the columns.
Yeah, widen the columns before I paste, because then I only have to resize the columns automatically.
And another way to do that, you can actually copy the column widths.
Yes, I do that plenty of times.
Right.
When I'm copying spreadsheet to spreadsheet or something, but you can't necessarily do that off the web when you're copying something from the web or a PDF.
Right.
But when it wraps and then you're all messed up, and even when you make the column wider, now you got to do all the column or the rows also because
you have to shorten the rows. Yeah, I agree.
So,
guys, I got something different.
Okay, you want to show your
when I opened up a blank
spreadsheet. How about if you show it? How about if you show it rather than talk about it?
Okay.
Want to take over the share?
Stop share. Okay, there you go.
So I'm going to start here.
I don't see John's screen though.
Not yet. Not yet. Not yet.
Wait, why did it?
You see his screen now?
Yeah, I see the same thing I was.
Yeah. He's going to show you from his point of view.
Wait, you see that? Okay.
Yeah, we see your screen. We see your screen.
So I selected
highlighted everything.
I opened up the link. This is the second link, clearly with spaces in the location.
And then I was able to select the whole purpose. That was the whole purpose. Put extra spaces in there.
Yeah.
Right.
Then I was able to select that, and now I should be able to grab a hold of my spreadsheet. Can you see this spreadsheet now?
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now notice up here, this is just a new blank spreadsheet. And up here in the home ribbon in the corner, it says clipboard because I just copied. It says clipboard.
John, this 365?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the option that I have is.
Well, you got to have more than one paste option.
If I click on paste
special, yeah.
You notice use text import wizard.
Not familiar with that.
Click on that.
That's why we have a word. Oh, that's text. That's text to columns. Same thing.
That's the text import wizard, and I left it at delimited. But down here, my data has headers. And if I go next, it shows all of these columns and it's all messed up.
Right.
So I'm going to cancel that. And what I did was I used CoPilot,
Okay.
and I can show you. I have to go back to here, and then you now should be seeing
See your Gmail.
the forums. Let's go back to here. Then I put the following request into CoPilot.
What does your request say? I couldn't read your.
You're going to see it. You're going to see it. I have to turn on autosave, and I do that by saving to OneDrive, and I put it in Excel Workshop. If you'll just tolerate that with me.
Sure.
Of course.
I'll just name it Test 01. And that's saved. Okay, so now that's turned on. Now I can ask a question. And the question is, put this data. Okay. Can you read this?
Yeah.
Put the following data into 4 columns, where column A is the date, B, text, C, numeric, and D is text after the numeric. Okay. Yep.
Oh, now.
What did
Now, I don't
CoPilot
need-
do?
I don't need this. But here is where I am going to now go back, and I need to paste. Where is that guy? He was over here. No, wrong one. This one and this one. And so I'm going to right click and copy, and then go back to that Excel. And here is.
John, why can't you just hit Control V right now?
I was going to, but I had to recopy it.
Why do you even need CoPilot? It worked fine with mine. I don't understand where we're going here.
Well, the point is that if I give CoPilot all the right instructions,
Just another way to do it.
CoPilot was able to parse that and understand the difference between numeric fields, date fields, and other stuff. If you tell it that there's this, and this, okay? And that worked. Now,
Okay, I understand that. If you had a problem, just copying and pasting it. I copied and pasted it in a nanosecond, and the columns, the math works. You can add the dates. And
here's what happens when I pasted.
Okay.
I just pasted the data. Okay.
And now it's all in one column.
Yeah. So for me, it didn't work to paste it.
All right. And you have 365.
Yeah.
And that's
I
what
have 365.
That's what I don't understand.
That's what I don't understand. You had 365 too, Mike, right?
Yeah. It worked.
Yeah, but Mike, you in the home ribbon, you did not have clipboard and this option of pasting using the text converter. Did you?
No, clipboard's here. I never use it, but I can click on it, I guess.
See, I don't have paste up in there.
The clipboard says paste all, clear all.
Paste is the clipboard right next to, oh, you
Yeah,
don't want-
mine's down. All right. I'm using, okay, here's a problem between us. You're using a horizontal monitor. I'm using it on a vertical monitor. So I lose some of the,
Yeah, some of the ribbon.
I use some of the ribbon.
So now I just made it full screen.
I have to click on a little icon by clipboard, and then it shows me the clipboard options. Okay, paste all, clear all. I don't know. I just don't get it. It seems so.
So that clipboard option, I didn't see clipboard and paste when I was not full screen. I just saw clipboard. When I make it full screen, then I see paste, and it's a section called clipboard and paste.
Yeah, no, well, where you have okay, you got paste options. Can you escape once? All right, I have the same clipboard you got, and over to the right of clipboard, there's that's the drop down box. All the way, no, stop, escape. Clipboard, that
Right there, yeah.
Yeah, that's what comes up for me. Okay. Because I have a narrower screen, I don't get all the ribbon. I mean, I can move it over there, but
well, that is one of the important things that we can learn in these workshops. Sometimes, like when I was coaching at the library, it was very important for me to see how people were interacting with their computer, to see where their hands were going, what they were seeing.
yeah,
Because until you expand it and you have it full screen, you don't see all the options, and you're talking to somebody on the phone and you're trying to tell them how to do something, and I don't see that. I don't see that. Why don't you see that? Well, it's not full screen, or some other reason like that. So here you see that there are times when you can put it like that once you know that you can look for that thing. So this is something that I have found is very important. So anyway, I ended up using CoPilot to do this because just pasting like this didn't work the same way for me, and I don't know why it didn't.
Now I'm gonna make a stupid suggestion, John. Go back, keep it. Maximize that screen. Okay, just get rid of this guy.
delete that. Yeah.
Yeah, delete that data.
Delete this stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just get rid of it. All right. I'm gonna make a stupid thing because the only thing that you guys did differently, I want you to widen your columns before you do the paste. Like what Mike did.
Highlight 5 or 6 columns. Just highlight the columns.
In between A and B. No,
Yeah,
in between
there you
A
go.
and B.
Now just
No.
yeah,
In between.
perfect.
Oh, okay, that did it. That's a new way. Okay.
Yeah, you see,
Perfect.
I mean, I know how to do that.
I know.
And,
Okay.
and if
Right
I
now.
select the columns
I
later,
know how to do it.
And
Wait,
now
what? I
go
didn't
back.
stay there.
Go back to A and do the paste, assuming it's still in the class.
Yeah, he didn't widen the columns.
Yeah, widen the columns. Widen the columns.
As soon as you,
No, not wide enough.
that's fine. That's close enough.
Close enough, you think, Mike?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
There may be 1 or 2 that don't, whatever.
All
That's
right. Okay. Go
now-
to
now
A.
go back to the PDF
Go back to PDF, copy, and paste
and
it.
just
here.
copy it and paste it. Why do we need CoPilot?
Yeah, the only thing you guys did
You already
differently.
got it highlighted. Hit Control C and go there and hit Control V. I don't
I
know
did.
why. That's all in one column. I don't know why his.
I don't know why either.
Now I'm using Firefox.
I am too. Well, yeah, I did I copied it from FoxIt
You did FoxIt. Okay, there's
FoxIt.
another difference.
PDF Reader.
You did it from FoxIt. This is
So did you, Fred, right?
Yeah,
I-
this is just straight opening.
yeah, I got you.
Okay, you're in a browser. I was in a PDF reader, FoxIt PDF Reader, when I opened Fred's thing, and I copied it off of that, and then I put it into Excel.
Yeah. So you had an intermediate step that changed it. And I just opened up Fred's email and clicked on this, and it opened up in Google.
In your email program? What did it open up?
No,
That's a browser. That's a browser.
it just opened up in a new window in Firefox.
That's a
I didn't have
browser.
to.
Yeah.
So, but this is on Google. If you look here at
Yeah,
where this is,
I don't use Google, so
yeah, but this is,
at
you're
least
on a Google
like that.
website. That's where this is Fred's saved document.
I
This
downloaded
PDF.
when
I'm
Fred
looking
said-
at a PDF
Okay.
in Firefox.
Okay, I downloaded Fred's things to my computer, the two PDFs.
And then
I
you opened it.
them up in FoxIt PDF Reader, okay, or FoxIt PDF, and then I just copied them into Excel. I wasn't in a browser when I did it.
So FoxIt may have done just enough transformation.
Yeah, obviously.
Okay, now,
think-
I can
think
go up.
I wonder.
I can go up here where it says open with, and I can say open with something, and I can use there's a suggested.
What's your regular PDF reader?
Yeah, I saw Luminate PDF.
Is that a
my
PDF?
regular PDF reader? I just have Adobe Reader DC,
Okay,
Try Adobe
but I don't
Reader
even
P-
need it because both Firefox and Edge, which I both have, will open
Well,
up the PDF.
they'll open it up, but they won't let you copy it correctly,
Sure. What do you?
like I did.
Well, now we just
Okay.
saw, because
Well-
I copied it. Here's a PDF in Firefox. This is the page. And I can copy.
Yeah, but it doesn't parse it properly.
Well, that's the point. That's the whole point of this meeting, isn't it?
Okay, well then fine. Get FoxIt PDF Reader free and open it in that, copy it and put it in Excel and do whatever you want with it. It'll already be parsed properly.
Okay, I'm gonna
At least my
take
experience
control.
does that.
I'm gonna take control back. I'm gonna try it in my PDF reader because when I copy and paste it, it came all into one column also. So let me try doing the same kind of thing.
Fred, I thought you used FoxIt. I thought you
No,
get that one of your mails or whatever.
I've used it in the past, but I want to just try.
I found that to be my favorite PDF reader.
I use PDF Exchange. All right, let me find it. Let me find it.
Certainly, sometimes we do things like you decided to download the PDF and open it in FoxIt. And that was just natural sequence for you because you probably always do that.
Yeah,
I don't always do that. If Fred
use
gives
the
me a
browser
link,
to
I
open
open the link, there it is. I try to copy it and I end up someplace.
Okay. That's fine too. Hey, we all have our own ways and quirks.
Well, my
We have
point
plenty
right
of
now is if you're doing something habitually and it produces a result, the habit makes the whole thing invisible to you. And what just happened was, oh, Mike used FoxIt on the PDF. That gave him something else. And if I don't have FoxIt and I never think about using a PDF reader to do this, that's why it doesn't work for me.
Okay, I get it. And that's fine. Whatever you like to use, but I've tried to copy PDFs in the past too, and I couldn't do it. So I opened them up in I guess I did some research. FoxIt PDF Reader gets great reviews everywhere. And I use that to open PDFs. And then I can't edit them necessarily although that's coming soon. And but I can copy from them like that and paste them, and it's already done. I don't have to go to CoPilot. I don't have to do 5 or 6 other things to get it where I need it.
Okay, I want to just try your method. I'm just not using FoxIt because maybe something special about FoxIt. And I wanted to show you. Okay, first I save the PDF and then I open it in PDF Exchange, my go-to
See your
PDF,
face.
PDF Exchange editor. And it's my go-to
Okay,
Exchange
that's your
editor.
preferred thing. Yeah, fine.
But I also use Acrobat. I have the real Acrobat too. But anyhow, I wanted to show you it's a PDF A-3A standard. All editing and interactive features are disabled. And the
Why
button
don't I
is,
see this?
can you see it?
No, I only see you and John
Oh, I thought
and
I'm sharing.
my name, Mike.
I thought I'm sharing my screen.
Apparently not, because
Apparently,
I don't see your screen.
There we go.
are you seeing my screen?
Yes,
Okay. Okay. This is that message that comes up that it's
What are we in here?
this is PDF Exchange Editor. What I did was I took the PDF and downloaded it or saved it to my computer. Now I open it in a PDF editor, similar
Okay,
to FoxIt, but I happen to be using PDF Exchange Editor.
fine.
And it comes up PDF A-3A. All editing and interactive features are disabled. I enable editing. Are you sure I want to remove? I say yes. Okay, now I'm going to do a copy and paste. Let's see if I can get the whole thing here.
Oh, you got to get the hand away. You got to get the big eye so you can select, I think. There you go. There you go. Perfect.
Control C.
Yeah.
Now let me go find a spreadsheet. It's not the spreadsheet.
Alt Tab will show you everything you got open.
I'm going to just widen the columns like you did too, Mike.
Well, that helps editing later. Well, there you go.
Paste, 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 paste.
I just paste.
Oh, came in one column. I just wanted to try. FoxIt's got something going for you.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, what I had to do
Well,
in this case was to use flash fill to get the, I was mostly interested.
That'll work fine too.
Yeah, well, what I did was you can get the first the date column separate, and then all the other stuff is all in one column. But to extract the amount is really what I wanted. So let's see what happens today. Every day is a different day. There's my 15. There's my 150. There's my 100. And I'm going to do a Control E.
Right.
Bingo. So this is how I got my amounts.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
That feels fantastic.
that's what I had to do. And this is a standalone. This is Excel 2021.
Okay.
Different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, well, it depends what you're using and what you found out while you were fooling around trying to do this in other programs and so on and so forth. And yeah,
But the interesting
luckily,
thing,
my way is the simplest. Boom, highlight it, boom, and it puts it right columns right away.
let me see if I have, I'm just curious if I have FoxIt. I am just curious if I have FoxIt.
It's free.
I know, but I probably,
Reviews. I read reviews before I installed it, of course.
here I go. What if there's something special about FoxIt? I'm gonna download it.
You don't have to register.
Register it now. Currently is not the default. Do you want
It
to
even
make
asks, it is the default, and every time I start it, it asks me, it's not the default. I don't know why. And it is.
How do we get rid of this stuff here?
Hit open or something. Open file. No, down lower. No,
No, I just copied. I wanted to paste. Oh, file. Home. I want to do a new.
open file.
Open file.
Yeah, try that. Now find it.
Find. Oh, you mean
Where you saved it.
the one I downloaded?
There you go.
Okay.
And hit enable editing over on the right.
Enable edit.
Got the message clear and all.
Oh, I see. Yep.
Okay.
Oh, it's the same message because of PDF A. Yes.
Okay.
Now we're going to copy. How do I get my select?
Get the 605 in there.
It's not letting me get that last guy. Yep.
Well, then go backwards. So start there and go up to the top. There you go. Keep going. There you go.
Control C. Let's find a spreadsheet. I have a spreadsheet.
Open a new sheet. Just, if you highlight a bunch of columns first, then hit scroll one wide, it saves you one click.
You got to be kidding. Something unique about FoxIt.
There you go.
Yay!
That makes it worth getting FoxIt.
Yeah,
I've read a lot of places that recommend FoxIt.
it's free, and I've used it for, I don't know, 5 or 6 years at least.
Wow.
You know, even if you get a program and it can only do one thing that you need, it's worth it.
It's worth it, obviously. Yeah.
Now, why did
Wow.
it not put your column headings?
I may not have
Maybe
selected
he didn't
John.
highlight them.
I may not have selected it.
I just tried downloading
Whatever.
this file and then as a PDF and then opening it in Word. And in Word, it produced a table after it converted it from PDF to Word, but it combined column A and B as one column, your column A and B, and column C and D as a second column. So
Interesting.
Word did split stuff, but it did not do it correctly.
Interesting.
So FoxIt is worth it.
Interesting. Very interesting. Worth the price of admission, guys.
Yeah, which is 0.
But that's only for this year.
Okay, well, it's been for 5 or 8 years for me at least, but
it makes it worthwhile to learn this little tidbit of knowledge that I have to remember the next time when
yeah, because
I don't always use the same program,
well, neither do I. But when I'm trying to download something off the thing or a PDF and I want to keep it in my woodworking, file or whatever, it's a tips or whatever, and this makes it come out the way I want,
Right.
or like millimeters to inches. I have spreadsheets that help me do that. Okay, because sometimes I get hardware and stuff I have to put together and everything's in millimeters or centimeters. And yes, I know how to convert, but I have a spreadsheet that I can go and if it says 22 millimeters, I know that's, like almost 3/4 of an inch or something. I mean, I can get it down to the 64ths, which even in carpentry, I don't need 64ths.
Oh, yeah, because you,
It's
Yeah.
wood. 30 seconds is tight.
Okay, I think we've killed that one enough and we